to the Pick Show. I'm Loud, your host, and I'm joined here today by two of the best handicappers that I know. We've got Tom Macrina, a.k.a. Rye Cape, and all in white, like the saintly figure that he is, Wes joins us, Sniper Wes, at Sniper Picks. All right, let's get right to it. I don't have any picks until Friday night in college. What do you guys got for Thursday night football? What do you like? Go ahead, Wes. Anything?
Well, I kind of like the over in this NIU game tonight. First of all, it's two really crappy schools. I mean, if this were a bowl game, it would literally be called the toilet bowl.
Right.
NIU, they're 2-7. UMass is 0-9. The UMass Minutemen are 6-3 to the over this season. I have a buddy back in LA where I'm originally from. I'm in Vegas now, as you know, but I told him he let's just say I said, hey man, if you had a nickname, it would be the Minutemen. If you ever played for a college team, you can go ahead and figure out what that means.
Okay. All
But
right.
anyway, well, so here's the deal: the Huskies they give up 24 points per game. They allow 36 points per game. It's just two crappy teams. I kind of like to take overs when two crappy teams get together, and that's what you have here. I just think there's going to be a little bit more points than the odds makers think. They have it sitting at 43.5. At least that's the last I saw. I don't know if it's moved since then. But I'll go over in NIU and UMass tonight.
Okay. I generally just hate bad team against bad team plays. I mean, I just because I my feeling is you have no idea what is going to happen. I do much better when I pick good teams against bad teams or good teams against good teams, bad teams against bad teams. But Rye Cape would tell me I'm wrong. That's all about the numbers. So explain why I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's true. In this case, you're not wrong. But I kind of disagree with West here on the total. I like the under here. UMass is the worst
Oh, we're
offense.
split.
Yeah, UMass is the worst offense in the league. Northern Illinois isn't too much better. They're actually the third worst. So I don't. I This spread is so weird to me that they're -10 Northern Illinois and they don't really score points. How are you going to cover 10 points here? But I mean, I guess they could score on UMass. It's just an ugly game.
Just that one seems really quite strange to me. How you are going to cover, 10 and a half, 11 points when you score 11 and a half points per game. I guess that's assuming they're going to score like 11 and the other team's not going to score, which is possible. It's possible that UMass doesn't score at all, but that would be bad for Wes's over. So we're going to hope that, I don't know. We're split. So we don't know. See, that's the bad team against bad team thing. It leads to things like splits. Okay. Thursday night, who is even playing in the NFL on Thursday night? I'm
We
not even that far this week.
we got Jets Patriots, and I actually just did a show on this game. I have a bunch of I have all kinds of thoughts on this game. I'd be
All right,
interested.
go ahead. Roll
I'd
it
be
out.
well. Let's hear what Tom has to say first, just because I'm curious his thoughts.
I mean, if we look at the Patriots, they've definitely been the hotter team, the better team here. History says that the Patriots win and cover this number. I just can't lay this amount. Uh, Jets are so bad. I kind of leaned it over. Uh, Man, yeah, this is a tough one. I lean it over. I think the Patriots are going to put up points. Jets, they've seen a lot of overs this season. Yeah, it'd be the over
Uh,
for me.
yeah, I looked at that game and the Jets are so bad. For me, if I was going to take a side, it would be Patriots or nothing. But 13, 14 points in an NFL game is a lot, especially in a in a conference game. Those tend to be closer than average. But God, the Jets are just so awful. This is a stay away for me. Honestly, I looked at this NFL slate and at first glance, I had a lot of trouble picking any games that jumped out at me. Wes, you said you got a lot of thoughts on this Thursday night football game. Roll them out.
Well, so the spread opened at 10.5. It's up to 13. So New England's
Right.
getting screened right out of the gate. The under opened at 44.5. It's down to 43. So there's some sharp action on the under. I actually disagree with Tom. I like the under here. If you
We're
remember
split again.
we're split again. So if you remember last week, the Jets, they did win that game. They played Cleveland and they won that game, but they got a punt return touchdown and I think a kickoff return touchdown, which, that helped them win that game, right? Otherwise, they
How
probably would
often is
not have
that
won.
going to happen?
Yeah, right. And I just like the under. The Jets, they can't pass the ball. Last I looked, Justin Fields was playing. Even if Tyrod Taylor does play, I still like the under. Last week, wow, listen to this. Justin Fields went 6 of 11 for 54 yards in an NFL game where he played the entire game. And 42 of those 54 yards were a dump down pass to Brees Hall, who ran it in for a touchdown for 42 yards. So the Jets can't pass the ball. It's so bad. I just think it's another Thursday night football snooze fest. It's a boring game. I think it goes under the total. I will throw out some props, okay? I'm not going to go into them all just for time purposes, but I like Brees Hall over 2.5 receptions. That's plus 118. I like Drake May over 24.5 rushing yards, minus 114 at FanDuel. Hunter Henry anytime touchdown, plus 140, the tight end for the Patriots. And I like Brees Hall to record 5+ rushing yards in each quarter, which is plus 135. I just gave all those out in the show. I figured I might as well give them out here too.
Great. No, appreciate it. Tom, by the way, loving the beard, dude. I mean, the beard is strong right now. You've got the winter beard going on there in Philly. So, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Jets have no weapons. I get it. Maybe New England team total is the way to go. New England team total over. I don't know specifically what the number is, but I think it'd be pretty high, 29.5, something like that.
Friday night, got a college football game I'm interested in. This is the Clemson Tigers at Louisville. Clemson fired their coach, and then they got the dead cat fired Coach Bounce, and they beat Florida State last week 24-10. They now go to Louisville. Now, weirdly, this game opened, according to Las Vegas lines, this game opened Clemson minus 6.5. And it is now Clemson plus 3.
Was that before the college football season started though?
I don't think so.
They have opening lines on games in week 12, like before the season starts. That would make sense to me if that were the case.
Well, no, because the rest of them I'm looking at haven't moved. I mean, I go to Las Vegas lines every week. Is one of my early places that I go because it's one of the better ones at showing you line movement. Tom said it was minus 4.5 is what he saw earliest. But still, that's a big line move. A team going from a favorite to a dog. Is Louisville really that great? I don't know. Clemson still has a lot of really talented football players. If I was going to play this game, I would go with Clemson plus the 3 and hope for a close game. Tom?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Clemson's not giving up on the season yet. Yeah, this could be a down spot for Louisville, but they are ranked. They kind of need this game to get into that ACC championship after their loss. So yeah,
Wes, Wes, are you going to break with us here? We're going to have another split, or do you like Clemson plus the 3?
Wow, did I hear you say that Sweeney's gone? Because Sweeney's still their head coach. I think you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the Giants coach.
That was Brian. That was Dable.
Yeah. Dable. Yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm just completely wrong on that. I had just in my head. I'm thinking of the other fired head football coach. But anyway, they saved their season last week by winning, going 24-10. They still have a possibility of being bowl eligible. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry about that. So,
no, it's all good. So, I mean, don't forget last year, Louisville beat Clemson 33-21. And that game was very personal for Dabo Swinney because he called it the worst performance of their 2024 season. This was last year, right?
So
they have had this game circled, and Clemson won the prior 9 meetings over Louisville before last year. So I think he's going to have his guys prepared here. If you remember on the Louisville side, they had one of the worst losses in their history of their program last week. Cal, Berkeley,
It's
Cal
terrible.
they flew across country to Louisville and they beat Louisville. Louisville was 19-point chalk. They beat them 29-26. Very embarrassing. Miller Moss, the Louisville quarterback, he has not looked good at all as of late. They were even talking quarterback controversy, but he is going to play here. But if there's one thing that Clemson can do defensively, they can get after the quarterback. So yeah, I'm going to take Clemson +3. I thought this opened at 3. I don't know about opening with Clemson as the favorite, but I looked earlier on Wager Talk and said it opened at 3.5 and it's down to 3, which I can see that. So I'll take the 3 with Clemson. I'll put those 3 points in my back pocket and say Clemson +3 over Louisville on Friday night.
Okay. All right. So we're all sort of in agreement here that Clemson on Friday night is probably the play. Early Saturday morning, Air Force UConn. Tom, you were on UConn, I remember last week. How did that work out? I didn't see the outcome of that game.
That worked out very well. Wasn't really a sweat at all.
Okay, so Utah covered for you handily. Air Force is just not that great this year. I was expecting better things out of them. They're playing at UConn. I'm pretty comfortable with UConn -7 at home. Tom, your thoughts?
Yeah, I am too. Should be a shootout. I also like the over here too. Both teams like to throw the ball. But yeah, I think UConn's the right side. They should cover this number.
And then I'm going to go in another Service Academy game. I'm going to go the other way. University of South Florida Bulls at Navy. The Service Academies as double-digit favorites hover at some crazy percentage, like 80%. Navy just got absolutely blown out by the Irish last week. But that is Notre Dame just dominating them. That game was not a blowout early. It turned into a blowout because Notre Dame's players just physically absolutely outmatched Navy and just pushed around and just wore them out. Navy does not have guys that can play with that level of competition, but that's not what they're necessarily facing at the University of South Florida. South Florida's got some very good players, but they don't have the kind of depth and size and mass along the line that Notre Dame has on both sides of the ball. I'm inclined to take Navy here plus the 10.5 points at home. Wes, any thoughts?
Yeah, no, I don't really have any thoughts on that game. I do have thoughts on one more game. I'll talk about Ole Miss, Florida, but if you want to finish this game,
I'll run South Florida.
Yeah, Tom, anything?
My thing with
USF
South Florida
Navy?
is I just feel like they need style points. They want to make the playoffs. They can do it. They're great coaching. They have talent. I kind of think they run as far with this as they can. So I take South Florida.
All right, we'll be split on that one. I just think Navy at home off a loss, gritty team. That triple option can be a pain in the neck, and they're pesky. And the like I said, the service academies are great against as double-digit dogs. A couple of quick other early games, Wes, and then we'll move to yours. Oregon State at Tulsa. Sorry, can't believe in the Beavers on the road. I'm going to take Tulsa +3. And then North Texas UAB. It's a big number, 69.5. Tom, do we play the over in this game?
North
Texas is one of the highest scoring teams if not the highest scoring team in NCAA football.
Right, and I think UAB could be as well. So I'm not scared off by the high number.
I think this is 42-35, 45-40, Wes.
The problem, don't get me wrong, I love North Texas overs. They're 6-3 to the over the season. Problem I have with playing overs with a game like this in which UAB is an 18.5 point dog is UAB really going to consistently score? The odds makers are telling you maybe not. Maybe that's why UNT is favored by that much. So I'd be a little wary of the over only because UNT, maybe they put up, I don't know, maybe they put up a 45. But is UAB really going to cover the rest? So.
Well, so if UAB puts up 20, well, no, that's not enough. That would only put you exactly at 69. So if UAB scores 21 points and North Texas scores 49, you just miss the 18.5, you get 18, but you get the over. So
Yes. So 49. So last week they scored 31 versus
Right.
Navy. But the 2 weeks prior to that, they scored 54, then 55. Before that, 36. Then so yeah, it's tough, man. I get why you want to take the
it's a
over.
big number.
Yeah, it's a big
It's
number.
a big number.
I
Yeah.
like dogs who can score. So UAB's
Yeah.
that. I think they
I
can score.
Yeah, I'm afraid of the minus 18.5 because I think UAB can score. And I'm comfortable with the over in that game. I think it's like 49-35. All right, Wes, go ahead. Let's go to your Ole Miss game.
Well, I know you like some Ole Miss football.
I love my Ole Miss football. That
Yeah.
question, is Lane Kiffin going to stay at Ole Miss?
Well, here, you know what I thought today? What about the Giants? What about the New York Football Giants and going back to
Ooh.
Coach Jackson Dart? You know, have a little reunion there. So you never know. I don't know if he's interested in going back to the
Interesting.
pros or not. But I kind of thought that today. I was thinking, you know, they need an offensive-minded head coach. I was like, what about Lane Kiffin? And I didn't even think about Jackson Dart until I was like, oh yeah, he coached Jackson Dart. Forgot about that. So you never know. Anyway, so Ole Miss in Florida. You get Florida coming in here to Ole Miss. It's a lot of chalk, 15.5. Ole Miss is laying 15.5. But I'm going to lay it. So obviously Florida's a huge disappointment. That's why they got rid of Napier. Florida's 3-6. They are also 3-6 against the number. Not very good. Ole Miss is 9-1. They're 6-4 against the spread. Obviously, Lane Kiffin and company, they could put up points. They score 37.5 points per game, 490 yards per game. Their defense is actually pretty good. They're number 30 in the nation. They only give up 323 yards a game. I don't think the Gators have talent to hang with them. And here's the deal. The reason why I'm laying these points, I think that Lane Kiffin, obviously, you know, Florida's head coaching position is open. LSU's head coaching position is open. Penn State is open. There's some NFL jobs open. Well, there will be at the end of the year, right? So what better way for Lane Kiffin to audition for the Florida Gators for their head coaching position than to beat them by 20 or 30 points, right? To beat the crap out of them. So, and they pour it on. That's what Lane Kiffin does. He puts his pedal to the metal. He puts his foot on their throat, and I think he's going to do that. I think they win by 20 or more.
Tom?
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I actually think this is where Lane Kiffin goes next year. I'm pretty sure his wife is alumni, but she has something to do with the school. But yeah, same thing. They need style points here. It looks like this Florida team has given up. I know last year I was a big fan of Lagway. He looks awful here. Yeah, this team is just, even the defense started off well at the beginning of the season, and they're not even playing well anymore. This Florida team's given up. Ole Miss should roll here.
Oklahoma. It's Oklahoma State against Alabama, right?
No, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Okay, Oklahoma, Alabama. Alabama -6 at home. I think DeBoer's got it figured out. They're at Alabama now. It was a little rough to start, but they seem to be just kind of rolling along like Alabama. And I think they cover this pretty easily. Tom?
Yeah, I kind of feel like Oklahoma needs to win this one, but as you said, Alabama's been rolling. I think this could be a huge Heisman moment for Ty Simpson as well. I like this Alabama defense. I think this Oklahoma offense is a little overrated, as well as their defense.
Wes, any countervailing thoughts?
You know, I have a premium on this game, so I'll pass.
We'll pass on that one. All right. Pacific Northwest betting. I mentioned I like Tulsa +2.5. I'd love to get it +3. Oregon State Beavers going to them. I think Tulsa can score on them. And Oregon State is just terrible on offense. And then later in the afternoon, Purdue is at Washington. Purdue's terrible. Washington played an awful game against Wisconsin last week, but they bounced back at home here. They're -16.5. I think they beat them by like 24, something like that, 21, 24 points. Louisiana Tech at Washington State. It's 8.5 points. La Tech is terrible. Washington isn't much better. I'm not going to play that game. Probably if I did, I'd take the 8.5 to La Tech. TCU at BYU, 7:15 p.m., 10:15 East. BYU, I like at home to bounce back, -4.5. They played a team last week that is just, I could be one of the best teams in the country. And Boise State, and they were on the road. Boise State +3 at San Diego State. who I think turns out to be a little bit overrated. Okay, let's talk some quick NFL. First thing on my board, Texas, like I said, I looked at this slate and I wasn't crazy about it. Texans, Titans under 38.5, Tom.
Uh, Texans burned me last week with the total. I actually like the Texans.
They went crazy with Davis Mills at quarterback.
But and it's Tennessee. I don't know. Is Tennessee any better than Jacksonville? Might be just as bad as Tennessee. But Tennessee doesn't cover spreads. They don't win at home. This team is such
awful.
bad. Yeah. So if I was going to do anything here, it would be Houston.
Houston minus what? What's the line on that?
Is it 6? It's 5.5 or 6, I think.
6.5.
Texas. If you get them less than a touchdown, I think that's still a play, right, Wes?
Probably. Yeah, it's interesting. The Titans are, for as bad as they are, they're 6-3 to the over on the season. But all that tells me is that their defense is really crappy. Because they're not putting up any points. Cam Ward's just terrible. So, I mean, I don't know. Do you think they want a mulligan on Cam Ward, or do you think that he can figure it out in the next couple of years? Because I mean, his technique looks terrible. Just throwing of the football, and he just doesn't look like. You can okay. Troy Aikman went to a terrible team way back in the 90s. Remember David Carr went to the terrible Texans, but they at least look like they could throw the football down the field with some, confidence.
Authority.
Like, yeah, Cam Ward is he just looks lost.
When you look at Geno Smith and you look at Sam Darnold and you look at Baker Mayfield, boy, the situation quarterbacks go into really matters. And the Titans are an absolute freaking dumpster fire, from ownership to, I mean, for God's sake, they fired Mike Vrabel. Holy crap. Look what he's doing with the Patriots. When they fired Mike Vrabel, I was like, you have got to be kidding. That guy did nothing but overachieve with spare parts in Tennessee. So I think that was just crazy. The Bills, wow, did they suddenly suck last week? Bad game or a bad sign? Because they cannot stop the run at all, Tom.
I think it's actually a bad sign. Yeah, they have Tampa Bay, who's also coming off a pretty bad loss at home to they played the Patriots last week.
Yeah.
So Buffalo, for some reason, struggles to cover at home. It's been a problem for a few years now.
And you know what? These are two of my favorite quarterbacks. I love watching Baker Mayfield, and I love watching Josh Allen. So this will be, if nothing else, a really entertaining game. I like the Bucks plus 5.5, Wes.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that either. One thing to keep in mind, not only with this game, but a lot of games in the Northeast, is we've got a lot of snow going on, right? A lot of weather stuff going on. Pennsylvania, Buffalo. I know Michigan's getting snow. Even the college games too. We've got to watch out for that. So keep an eye on that.
Baker played Cleveland.
Yeah, so especially watch the wind. I don't know what your guys' thought is on snow, but everybody thinks, it's snowing, it's going to go under.
That's the wind that screws everything up.
It's the wind. For me, it's the wind. The snow, it's almost like, I almost like the over.
Snow's not hard to play in. Rain is harder to play in than snow.
Definitely. 100% agree. As far as it relates to this game, though, I don't know. I would think Buffalo would bounce back. It's a tough game to call, to be honest with you.
Buffalo's going to bounce back, but Tampa Bay still can play defense and run the ball. So I just don't see Buffalo. The state of what I saw in the Buffalo Bills last week, I don't see them blowing anybody out. They're going to have to hang on to win games, Tom.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree with that. They're just struggling. Their defense doesn't look good. And when they get down, besides that Ravens game,
come back. Yeah, they get down, they can't come back because they can't stop the run. Teams just start, taking the air out of the ball on them. Chiefs -4, Broncos. I hate the Chiefs. Everybody knows I hate the Chiefs. This is where the Chiefs start winning games and make another run at the Super Bowl, which I'm going to hate. Chiefs -4 over the Broncos. Their quarterback looks like he is really – Bo Nix looks like he's regressed, guys.
Yeah. I watched a lot of Broncos football this year, a lot of Broncos football. I mean, it's very possible they're 8-2 right now. They might be 9-1 or maybe 10-0 if he can hit wide open receivers. It drives me nuts. It's got to drive Sean Payton nuts. The guy, especially on the 9 route, right? The fly, the go, the streak, whatever you want to call it.
He's
He's
missing
had
people by
guys.
5 yards.
He has had guys wide open all year long for touchdowns. He might be an MVP candidate if he would have just hit 8 or 9 or 10 of those, and he's at least missed that many of them. So it's very, very frustrating. But this is a lot of points for a Chiefs team to come into Denver, into the altitude. Well, yeah, it is a lot. That's a lot of points, man. I mean, the Chiefs are 5-4, the Broncos are 8-2, and they're a 4-point dog at home. That's some outright disrespect there. I don't know, man.
The voodoo. This is the voodoo that you do with the Chiefs. They scare the hell out of me. Cowboys Raiders, I think that one goes over the total of 50 because the Cowboys are going to score 50 on the Raiders' terrible defense. All right, we're just about out of time. We're split on the Chiefs Broncos. Rye, you laughed. You believe that the score in the Raiders Cowboys will be over the 50 as well.
Yeah, I kind of don't like backing Cowboys offense on the road, but yes, I think they put up some points.
You're not really so much backing, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not backing the Cowboys. I'm fading the Raiders. The Raiders suck. Yeah. And they have no secondary. They've got no pass rush except for Max Crosby. Double that guy, and Dak Prescott could make a sandwich every time he goes back to pass.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I think this might be the last stop for Pete Carroll and maybe Geno Smith too.
I think terrible decision when a team lets you go as the head coach, except for Mike Vrabel is the exception. You're probably in out of your depth, and Geno Smith has turned back into a pumpkin. He is now a turnover machine once again. That is Hit the Pick for this week. Thanks for being here, everybody. Wes, Tom, let's cash some tickets.
That's some tickets.